U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is increasing the pressure on Venezuela. Full release, that's the buzzword on Capitol Hill. Of course, it is a reference to the Epstein files. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is increasing the pressure on Venezuela. He has just announced a military operation called Southern Spear against drug smuggling cartels in the region. This, of course, is a dramatic escalation, and it coincides with the arrival of the largest and most modern aircraft carrier in the world, the Gerald R, together, of course, with a flotilla of other destroyers and boats. Even a nuclear submarine is part of this strike group, which has just arrived in the region. It comes together that there is an enormous armada of American firepower now amassed in the region, and of course nobody believes that this is only to bomb drug smuggling boats as it has happened in the last weeks. 80 people were killed, 21 boats were sank, mostly in the Caribbean. The new show of force might be aimed at Venezuela, and there are breaking news coming from within the White House. According to CBS, Pete Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs of Staff has briefed U.S. President Donald Trump on possible attack plans, including targets within Venezuela. Here, the Pentagon tries to eliminate infrastructure that is associated with the cartel of the Suns, that is very close to Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, the autocratic leader of Venezuela, of course. These targets could be hit by airstrikes. It is very unlikely that any ground troops will be involved. On the side of the Americans, Maduro himself has mobilized his own forces. He has told a CNN reporter that he hopes for peace, but it seems that military action is imminent. According to this one report, it could happen within the next days, maybe even already on the weekend. Donald Trump will be spending the weekend in Mar-a-Lago in his resort in Florida. There are very dramatic developments, and now the region and the world are holding its breath. Full release, that's the buzzword on Capitol Hill. Of course, it is a reference to the Epstein files and the demand by the Democrats, obviously, and more Republicans to fully release all the files in the possession of the Department of Justice. That is a step that the Trump administration is refusing so far, but most dramatically, there is a groundswell within the Republican Party to defy the president. 4 Republicans in the House of Representatives have also signed a petition by the Democrats to force a vote on the floor. This vote now is scheduled for next week. No exact date has been named by Speaker Mike Johnson, but it is a dramatic development because 4 Republicans have joined, and now the White House tries to push back to convince them to walk away from this step towards a release of the Epstein files. There was one very dramatic moment in the White House as Lauren Boebert, a congressman member from Colorado, was summoned into the Situation Room, which is the place normally for serious crises and even war. She was briefed by Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, and FBI Director Kash Patel and other members. They tried to convince her to walk away, to drop her support for this petition. So far, not successfully. Now, with the vote scheduled for next week or happening next week, there is a groundswell expected within the Republicans. 40 to 50 members of the House could vote with the Democrats for the full release. Then, of course, the path of this law that would require the full release is murky when it comes to the Senate. Here, the Senate Majority Leader John Thune could basically stop it, could not bring it to a vote, but some believe that maybe more Republicans in the Senate as well will feel the pressure by the population, that by their voters, that they really want to see all the files of the Epstein case. That could lead to a possible possible vote and a possible passage of this initiative. And then at the end of the day, that would be up to Donald Trump to either stop it with a veto or let it happen. Of course, the latest steps are very unlikely, but the nation is now looking forward to next week, to this drama, to this real political thriller that might be happening on Capitol Hill when the initiative to release the Epstein files comes to a first vote in the House of Representatives.